I'm going to go ahead and get going. I'll keep my part short, but thanks for joining Andre and I. Andre with SILAC is one of their VPs, and he's got some exciting announcements to make about 2024. And we also want to hit an overview of why SILAC has been so successful in 2023 and what they're planning for next year going into what should be a really strong year for FIAs. I'm going to go over our value prop paradigms first, highlight some of the opportunities that new producers have with us, as well as why people continue to do business with us here at IMES. First of all, our new producers builder program, I call it our new producer bonus program, allows you to continue to hit the ground running once you get a fast start here with us at IMES. If you can bring in during your first 6 months being contracted with us these different thresholds, if you meet any of these thresholds, it'll allow us to do a number of different things for you. Anything from a 1,500 piece postcard mailing all the way and including up to putting on a few seminars for you and everything in between. It's not limited to what you see here on the screen. We can do any number of different marketing programs for you, both those that we offer in-house with our 37 different vendors that we work with, or something you may already be successful with. So if you need help getting some business in the door and keeping your sales funnel full for 2024, this is a phenomenal way to take advantage of that, especially as a new producer here with IMES. Just like you guys, the best possible client that we can typically work with is a referral. If you have somebody that you have in mind that could benefit from the same things that you are here at IMES, then please let us have an opportunity to talk with them about how we may partner with them in their practice as well. And it keeps you from having the whole agency conversation if you're not wanting to go that route, but still earn on any business that they write. So when they contract with us, a first time contract is $50 to you, but the real money kicks in once that producer begins writing with us. And thousands and thousands of dollars are signed off on by Curtis, Steve, Chris, our ownership team here at IMES for producers that have been referred to us. A good example is if somebody that you referred to us writes a $100,000 annuity case, we will pay you $200 for that business and any business that they write going forward. We do three things really well here at IMES. I'm going to outline each one of them high level, but the first is our back office support. So anytime you work with us, regardless of the carrier, regardless of whether it's life or annuities, we are going to have an expert assigned to you that knows that carrier inside and out. So if you submit a North American life case, we've got actually a couple of people on the life insurance side of the business that know North American really well. If you submit a SILAC annuity case, we've got somebody who knows SILAC and their processes inside and out. They will help follow that business from submission to commission to ensure that that process goes as smoothly as possible, that we are proactive about helping you get the things that you need, the information that you need for that case to go through seamlessly, and then if issues do arise, that we handle that in the most efficient manner possible for you. Our website is full of resources that you may want to tap into. Everything from our sales support center, which has all kinds of canned material that may be useful to you that you can put on your social media pages or that our creative team can help you put on your social media pages, to comparison tools to find the best possible solution for your client for guaranteed income or life insurance quotes or electronic submission tools. It's all there. Ask your annuity sales rep like me, Matt Sabala, to help ensure that you understand where those resources are on our website, or your life sales rep today. If you're not utilizing the tools we have there, you could be missing out, and probably are missing out on ways to be more efficient and a better resource to your clients. Firelight is one of those resources. Absolutely, Firelight is a way that people are being more efficient in getting new business processed. You can access this just a couple of clicks away on our website, and what it allows you to do is get through apps more quickly, to work with clients remotely more easily, and it allows our team and the carrier to both process that business more efficiently. Many carriers now are requiring you use Firelight for e-submittal, and other carriers are incentivizing you to use Firelight. There's one that took a huge amount of business in because they offered a $500 incentive to use Firelight just because they wanted to get their producers doing that. So we've seen a couple of years ago, about 25% of people were using Firelight to today. Upwards of 60, closer to 70% of producers are utilizing it. And it's because once they learn it, and it is not a very steep learning curve at all, but once they learn it, they realize how big of an asset it is to submit applications that way. If you need help, again, ask me, Matt Sabala, your annuity or life sales director, to walk you through getting started. And then we have experts, just like we do on the new business team. We have experts who are Firelight experts who can walk you through a first-time submittal, so you aren't confused and wondering where things are there. But again, it's pretty easy. It'll tell you where you're missing information and really makes the whole process simpler. The second thing I think we do really, really well is we've got a whole team of people supporting the annuity and life sales directors here and our agents with creative marketing solutions. So everything from business cards and stationery all the way and including up to radio, seminars, even getting you on TV. Those are things that we can do for you, the producer. If you have never had a customized marketing analysis done for you, that is an excellent tool for producers to say, hey, these are my goals for 24 and beyond. And we can work through what it may take to get you there. How many darts do you need to throw at the board? What are the most comfortable ways for you to get in front of new people? And, what are the resources that you need to have in order to achieve those goals? And so we'll put a comprehensive custom plan together for you to help you step by step over time, reduce the standard deviation of having, a good month here, a bad month here, and get rid of those peaks and valleys and really see a steady growth to help you reach your goal in 24 and beyond. Let us know if you want that. That is a critical component of the people who do best here at IMES. That's usually a critical component of what we do for them, is help them out with their marketing in that way. Back in 2016, 2018, many of you probably remember when the DOL was making changes at that time, and people were very, very concerned that in order to write insurance products, they would need to go out and get their securities license. That scared a lot of people. And we're seeing that same conversation today. That's a hot topic. And while it doesn't look like you will need to have your 65 to write insurance products, well, I'm trying to think of how to word this. You will need to be a fiduciary regardless of whether you have your 65 or not. And we will help you ensure that you can talk with your clients with respect to that and be the professional and make sure you're presenting them all the best options you can. But back in 2016, 2018, when this topic first started coming up, we did develop IMES Wealth Management as a resource to our agents to make sure that when they had a client who wanted to leave money in a growth bucket, or when a producer wanted to consider earning their securities license, or when they wanted to keep a client close and not have them have a need to meet with another advisor because they couldn't have a securities conversation with that client, when any of those opportunities came up, that we had a resource to them. And so now we have about 80 agents that work with IMES Wealth Management. They have their securities license, and then we have many agents that leverage IMES Wealth Management just for improved client retention. They ensure that any time that a client wants to leave money in securities, that they have a resource that they can turn to on the IMES Wealth Management team to join them on a call and make sure that they're not needing to meet with another advisor. And then if that producer ever does go and earn their securities license, we provide them the resources to do that through IMES Wealth Management. And in that case, you will be you'll have the opportunity to then work with that client that may have put part of their investment with IMES Wealth Management, so you can earn a commission once you earn your your securities license. So it's a really good resource to our producers in that way. The third thing I think we do really well, and I've been around the industry for quite a while. I worked at the largest IMO in the country, and I worked at another one where a lot of the guys who started the IMOs throughout the country, they're very successful now. A lot of them started at one group out of Topeka, Kansas a while back, and I worked at that one group. I was a little younger than those guys, but I know many of them, and so I didn't get in on the branching out and starting your own IMO. But what I'm trying to say is I've seen the best the industry has to offer in terms of training. And our Life and Annuity Academy that we hold several times a year is the top or equal to the best training that I've seen in the industry. And so this is not 101 life and annuity training. This is high level, master's type courses for people, sales concepts, best practices from other top producers to help you close more business in your practice. The people who we've had out to these academies undoubtedly go back, have good ideas to implement that they hadn't been using before, and are on almost every occasion closing more business than they were before they attended these life and annuity academies. So best practices, sales ideas, but also a comprehensive overview of the marketing and lead generation programs that we offer here at IAMS. Really, really good resources there. It's all inclusive. We will pay to have you come out. Because of that, there is a qualification for this. But basically, if you are a producing agent and you're looking to grow, we want to get you there. So if you are interested in attending our Life and Annuity Academy that we will have coming up most likely towards the end of March or in April, then please let me know. I'm going to do a quick poll on that. And then we will move on and I'll finish up my part of this, but we'd love to see you out to our next Life and Annuity Academy. Just give this a couple more seconds here. All right. So it's a whole nother conversation. We've done some webinars on it, but the Department of Labor is really looking at incentive trips and just incentives in general. So we are big in rewarding our producers for the production that they put with us. We will be offering one trip that qualification just finished up for within the last couple of weeks for producers that closed $4.5 million in business with us. We had a record number of people qualify for that, which is an awesome thing. But we will be offering one more trip here for this year. Qualification goes through the end of June, as you can see here. $3 million of Athene business will get you there. FIA business counts dollar for dollar, and MIGAs count for half on this. Really good opportunity to kind of meet with a fraternal group who, again, a great opportunity to bump elbows, network, share best practices with top producers, but also just a great time, of course. What I was saying with the DOL is this may be changing going forward. So this may be one of the last chances you have for a while to do an incentive trip. We are getting ready to announce one for 25 as well. But just so you guys are aware, that may be something that the DOL really clamps down on. So take advantage of this while you can, and hopefully it does continue to be something that we can offer here through IAMS, but that may be one of the changes we see. Okay, so it wouldn't be a presentation if I didn't ask you to like and follow us on LinkedIn and Facebook, and we want your clients to be able to do the same for you. If you don't have online credibility right now, that is a critical component to advisors, in today's climate. If you're seeing people for first appointments and you're having difficulty getting them to a second and you don't have a good online presence, make sure you talk to us. We can help you with that. We want to help you with that because we want you, of course, to be as successful as you can be in 24. So let us do the same for you. And with that, I'm going to hand it off to Andre so he can talk about these exciting opportunities we have with SILAC. Thank you for joining us, Andre. Andre, do we have you? Oh, I
Can you hear me
can't
now?
hear you if you're there. Yes.
Okay,
Perfect. I can hear you now, and I can see your screen.
great. Okay. Well, Matt, thank you again for the opportunity to get in front of advisors that work through IMS. I do want to thank IMS for the business in 2023 and all of you that helped support that business with us in 2023. What I will be going over today is basically just a quick review of 2023. And like Matt said, we're here to help grow your business. And if you've never spoken with our president, Dan Aker, our mission and focus is the agent. You are our number one priority, and we help support that through IMS, and we appreciate that partnership. So again, I'll go over what we will be touching on in 2023. Here's kind of an agenda item. 2023 review, some of our goals for 2024. I think you'll like what we're going to be providing in that space, and then some incentives that are directly impacted by agents, and then what they can do for their clients in 2024 as well. So with that being said, this just kind of jumps out as far as like a little highlight of what we were doing in 2023. So if you were not familiar with our platform, we introduced our Teton and Teton bonus elevation. That is an additional liquidity rider, and that has a spread. We added that to our platform. And then on top of that, we added a new volatility index tied to the S&P called Dual Swift. The key difference there with this particular index is instead of it being volatility set at 5%, that volatility is set at 12.5%. So you can definitely get more exposure to the S&P and maybe mimic more of what it's doing, but still having that volatility metric in there. And then as you can see here, for 2022, we received the award for Index of the Year when we had our Credit Suisse Raven Pack, which was pretty strong during the pandemic. One of the last companies to go negative during the pandemic as far as the volatility index. And then we had a top 5 fixed index annuity on our secure savings platform. So when you look at that, and then now we're going to transition of what we have for 2024, we're very excited. We have fixed rates as high as above 4.5%. As Matt indicated on the flyer, if you wanted to join this particular webinar, we have participation rates in excess of 260% on some of our products, caps higher than 10%. We have a top tier incentive program, which I will touch on, and then premium bonuses, depending on which product you choose, as high as 18%. So there's a lot of opportunity within our platform and working with IMS to make sure that you get the right product that fits your client's needs. And to basically look at a third-party indicator of indexes in the market, you can see here we had 2 top 10 indexes in 2023. NASDAQ Next Gen, which is tied to the tech sector, and that one, as far as raw gain, was as high as 8.54%. And then our Barclays Atlas Index, which is another volatility index, which is at 5.95. Now, when you look at that and then you start to add those participation rates, which can be in excess of over 100 to even above 200%, that makes for a good story as far as year-end review and crediting to your client's fixed indexed annuity. So if you want that information, I'll make sure Matt gets that, and you can get the indices and how their performance were for 2023 on the SALT financial report. So going into 2024, we have a premium goal. I will say we finished up in 2023 at 2.8 billion. If you've written with us before, this is our 6th year in the business, and 2021 was our big highlight year where we wrote over 4.1 billion of premium. So with that, we had to basically raise additional capital so then we can make sure that we honor our promises, and we made that happen. But with that, we want to make sure we have incremental growth and not have just where we shoot it out through the moon and have where we go from 300 million to all the way up to 4.1 billion in less than 3 years. So we've been a fast growing fixed index annuity company. And with that, we have now structured our goals for 2024 to hit 3.2 billion, and we definitely want to leverage you and IMS to help us reach that goal. And I think with what I'm going to touch on here shortly, we'll definitely give you something to talk to your clients about. So when you talk about what we are planning for 2024 and ideally in the first quarter and some of our other plans, we're going to have Denali in California. That is something we're very excited about. That is a product that not only provides accumulation, but also provides the opportunity for lifetime income, and you can get a step up in basis, or step up in your income based off crediting strategies if that happens. And then we also are going to get in the inherited IRA space post 2020. That's a big market, as you all know, with so many baby boomers retiring and having a lot of inherited IRAs. There's going to be an opportunity there with SILAC in 2024. And then we are going to get into the 5-year FIA space. We are going to put that on our accumulation FIA, which is Teton, which is great on accumulation and has some liquidity riders. But we will be one of the few companies, I believe right now, the only company that will offer a bonus on that 5-year FIA. So with that being said, let me dive into what Denali in California looks like. You can see here, we're going to get our 14-year contract. The issue age on that one is 56, but you're still getting the same performance, strong fixed rates, caps ranging from 7% to 8.75%. And because it's tied to California, we will not have interest recovery on that particular product. In other states, we have interest recovery if you surrender the contract early. That does not apply to Denali in California. We're going to give you that wellness benefit. So basically, that provides you the option if the clients cannot do 2 out of 6 activities of daily living, you'll be able to double that benefit for 5 years based off the lifetime income stream. And as you can see here, the box is checked that we will be providing lifetime withdrawal benefits on that contract, and that will be available next week for sale. When you're looking at our bonus contract for Denali, again, strong rates. You can see that the bonus ranges between 8% and 13%, depending on which contract you choose. Fixed rates are a little bit lower, but still compelling, and you're still getting all those features that we just talked about on the original Denali, where you're going to get lifetime withdrawals and that wellness benefit if the client cannot do 2 out of 6 activities of daily living. So look forward to that. We will be sending out promotions on that. We've been doing it this week. We'll do it next week. So if you have any questions on that platform, please reach out to Matt and his team, and we can make sure we get you squared away there.
Hey, Andre, with regard to California, I know
Yes.
there was conversation around a road show. Is there an anticipated date for having producers an opportunity to meet you guys in person? I know we have a couple people on the call who are interested in that.
Yes, so great question, Matt. So that is still in the plan. We just basically had to make some tweaks to our roadshow, but we will definitely be coming to California to meet many of the agents and advisors that deal with IMS and work with them and have been great partners of ours. We will be having that, and more dates will be coming out on roadshows, but definitely expect that to happen. Great question, Matt.
Great.
And then I'll just quickly go into the inherited IRA post 2020. Currently, we can accept inherited IRAs 2019 and before, but we will get in that post 2020. We will be able to handle it to where it can fall within that 10-year rule within the IRS guidelines. So that is something to look out for. That more than likely will be available in Q2, but definitely be on the lookout for that, because that is something that we feel is going to be a game changer for our platform and working with IMS as far as helping grow the business. Now, we've had great reviews about bringing in a 5-year FIA into the space. This is generally what it will look like when we get this going, and it should roll out by the end of March, first week of April. But you can see here on the left-hand column where if you just did the Teton 5, you did not want any bonus, you could see that there's no iteration. You get a fixed rate of 4.25 and a cap of 7%. Now, if you decided you wanted Teton bonus, you can get a 5% bonus up front. But then if you add elevation, that is going to give you another 3% bump. So you can get 8% bonus on the client's money day one, fixed rate still strong, and then the cap's at 6%. Keep in mind with that elevation rider, if you've written business with us before, that elevation is a spread, not a fee. So that spread, which we're still tweaking, but it's going to be in the range between 1 to 1.5 basis points. So the main thing is that we're never going to take your client's account value backwards with that spread. So in years where it's flat, the spread doesn't apply, and that spread does fall off on any of our contracts that offer elevation at the end of the contract period. So it's not something that goes into perpetuity. But this is going to give you a great opportunity, especially in that MIGA space where some clients are writing MIGAs and they might want something that's for a shorter time period. This is going to give you an opportunity to help offset that and look into a 5-year contract. And again, I anticipate that to roll out by the end of March, first week of April, if everything goes as planned.
Hey, Andre, on that.
Yes.
So in a couple of days, actually, that's been such a hot topic with producers. The 5-year MIGA alternative This is going to be such a unique product. I'd really like to include it in the presentation that we're doing on 5-year MIGA alternatives. Are you guys pretty certain of the rates that are going to be on that policy? Is it something we can start talking about,
Yeah, so great
or is it
question. I
something
would
we
say the
should wait
rates,
on?
the way it's priced out right now, what I'm showing you on this slide is where it's supposed to line up based off everything that we're doing. Now, we have to get final clearance from corporate approval and then making sure we get the yield. But basically what I'm showing you is what we intend it to be when we go live later on this first quarter.
All right. Really, really cool product there. I'm sure that's going to generate a ton of interest. Thank you.
Yes, we're definitely excited about it, and it's going to be a great opportunity. And please believe we will definitely be communicating to IMES in the field the launch date and then what you're going to be able to have using this 5-year product through our platform. This kind of just gives you like an overview of like some of the metrics that we want to hit going into 2024, because we think this is going to be a big year. And as Matt indicated, just the FIA space as a whole, it's very competitive. It's a copycat league. So we definitely want to basically hit the ground running and make some things happen and create a ripple effect for our business partners like IMES and you as agents. So you can see here, this is some of the things that we're looking to offer in 2024. I already went through Denali in California, the 5-year FIA, inherited RAs. But then we're also going to be adding Elevation to California, which is going to provide an additional 10% free liquidity. You're going to have up to a cumulative factor of withdrawals if you need it, and then that life event withdrawal option, which basically means if a client were to get sick, lose their job, kids goes to college, it's going to provide an additional one-time 10% liquidity to their contract that will hopefully create some peace of mind and provide clients options in the time of need. In addition to that, Denali enhancement, and I'll touch on that in this next slide, but we're really excited about this option because Denali is our #1 selling product. And when you start to be able to make enhancements to it to really provide additional value to you as agents in the field, I think you'll like what you see here. So I'll just jump right into it. Denali enhancement, we haven't come up with an official name, but right now we're just going to talk about Denali enhancement and conceptually give you an overview of what we're talking about here. So in that left-hand column on the Denali bonus, you can see it's up to as high as 10% depending on what state you're in. You have the fixed rates of 4.25 caps, and the lifetime withdrawal benefit is tied to the account value. You have 5% free withdrawal starting year 2 on, and it is RMD friendly. And that caregiver benefit, meaning if the client couldn't do 2 activities a day living, it would be tied to the owner, okay? Now, with this Denali enhancement, you can see that bonus is now going to jump up again. Now you're getting a 13% bonus starting day 1 when you purchase the contract. Fixed rates are staying the same, caps are staying the same. But now what we're doing is enhancing that withdrawal benefit. So what we're going to do is create a second column, if you will, and have an income option where it's going to give you a 6% roll-up rate on whatever the index does. And the way it's currently structured, and I haven't heard anything yet to say this is going to change, but that 6% roll-up is designed for perpetuity. It's not for just 10 years or 15 years and then it falls off. This 6% roll-up rate to their income value is currently structured where it go into perpetuity. So whatever that index does, you can attach that 6% to that particular income rate that the clients would have. You would now have 10% free withdrawals instead of 5% free withdrawals starting year 2 on. And that caregiver benefit, this I think creates a lot of flexibility within the contract because you're now able to have that benefit available for the owner or the spouse, whoever's in need. So when you think about qualified funds, a lot of times those qualified funds are tied to the owner of that particular money. With this particular caregiver benefit, which is unique to SILAC, that is going to give you the option to where it can be used for the husband or the wife or the spouse, whatever needs are there, that's what it's going to be there for. And then you're going to get that 10% additional liquidity one time in the event, like I said, of house damage, losing your job, medical expenses. So it's going to provide some flexibility there for you and your clients to be able to leverage this contract in a multitude of ways. And it is going to be tied to a spread again. Right now it's set at 1.5 basis points. We'll see once we fine tweak that where that will be, but I anticipate it'll be close to this. And I want to reiterate again, that spread is only for the duration of the contract, meaning the 10-year, 7 or 14-year period. It will never take your client's account value backwards. So if it is a 0 or goes flat for that particular year, then the spread does not apply, and we don't try to recapture that in subsequent years.
Andre, I want to, if you don't
Yes.
mind, I want to speak to that. That you guys are differentiators here. Oftentimes we have producers who have clients who really don't like the idea of a fee on a guaranteed income product. This is one of the only in the industry that you can point to that is not going to see a decrease in the value, correct?
That is correct. So when the clients receive their annual statements, even if they chose elevation or when this Denali enhancement comes into play, they're not going to see a negative statement to where we put that spread in there. That does not apply. Great point, Matt.
So with what I see here, I mean, there are alternatives out there with American Equity North American, but this looks like it's going to beat that. So keep that in mind if you've got a client who doesn't want a fee but wants a guaranteed lifetime withdrawal. This is an excellent option. Thank you.
Yes, and to that point, and just to kind of give you something, as Matt indicated, we're kind of differentiators. Our product development team really put another tweak on this. So as I was talking about that 6% roll-up rate on their income, that spread doesn't apply to the 6% roll-up rate. It's only going to apply to that account value on the other column. So in a year to where if it stays at 1.5 and the contract credited 8, that spread's not applying to the income value. That's going to go apply to that account value on the statement. So again, it's not taking their income value backwards as well with the spread. So another, I think, key feature within this product that is going to be available this year, and definitely be on the lookout for it. So with that, I just want to quickly just highlight some of our rates that you have available to you. And if you have never seen this, Matt has access to our rates and the whole IAMS team, but we can make sure to get you all of our current rates. You can see here premium bonuses on our Denali go as high as 18%. You can see a fixed rate as high as 5%, caps well over 11%, and then participation rates. And then that duo switch strategy again, which is tied to the S&P 500, but that volatility metric is 12.5. That has been really strong. I can tell you with that particular index that we just introduced again last year, right now it's tracking at over 10.84% raw gain. So if you haven't looked into it and want some details, please reach out to Matt and his team and we can get you those details. And the one thing that is specific to us that I say every single time that I'm talking with an advisor or an IMO is leverage our boost strategies. That is something right now with the way that we're a level option budget and new money company, we're able to provide a boost to whatever the index does. So in this instance, let's say you did our Denali 14 and you had that 5.75 boost to the contract. If the index did 4, you can apply that 5.75, so the client would net 9.75 to their index. The reverse is as long as that index doesn't do worse than 5.75, the client's going to get net a gain in that particular index. So this is us giving you an additional bump on the crediting of the strategy without any fees to the platform. So if you're not familiar with it, we can definitely get you some information on that. But I call that just like give yourself a buffer, if you will, and give yourself a win using our products and that boost strategy. And we have that on all of our products, our Teton, our Denali, and our Vega, if you're not familiar with our platform. And then you can see some of our premium bonus strategies for Denali. I'll quickly go into our Teton. Again, we just updated rates the start of January. It's crazy how we're already in February, but you can see here rates are a little bit lower, but you're still getting that powerful performance and our level option budget pricing. And depending on what you're going for, this might be a great fit. This provides cumulative withdrawals up to 50% if you're using our elevation rider. Our non-elevation rider gives you 30% cumulative withdrawals if the client does not take that free withdrawal for that specific year. And you still have those boost strategies that I was mentioning on the Denali. The elevation piece, as I mentioned, 50% cumulative withdrawals and a premium bonus as high as 18%. So again, there's a spread tied to this, but it's never going to take your account value backwards. And when you combine that bonus as high as 18% and that fixed rate of 4.75, you can see you getting above 20% credited to the client's contract year one. All of our strategies are one-year strategies, so it's very clean and simple to understand our statements, and that's why I think a lot of people have done business with us, and we've continued to grow with the help of IAMS and the advisors that they work with. If you're not familiar with Vega, this is something that I would say competes with Allianz, the 222, or the Agility. Athena Agility. This is a benefit value play, not really account value play. So there's multipliers tied to it. The one thing that stands out is that we are offering a 50% bonus on their benefit value day one, and that applies to our 7, 10, or 14-year contract. So regardless of contract term, you're getting that 50% bump. For our non-bonus contracts, we're giving you a 300% multiplier on whatever the index does. So in this instance, if the index did 4% and you were in our Vega 14, you would have a 300% multiplier and the client would net 12% to their benefit value, no fees attached to it at all. Now, this contract provides it's great for wealth transfer play, but if you have clients that are looking for something to make sure they don't outlive their retirement or have concerns about inflation and not having enough in retirement, Vega might be a great fit for you. We just increased those withdrawal percentages by 110 basis points. So if you are on annuity rate watch, you will see us come up in there in the top 3, if you will, depending on the fact pattern of the case. But this is something that is a great wealth transfer play as well because it provides unlimited enhanced death benefit in most states. And what do I mean by that is whatever that value grows to on that benefit value, that is what the beneficiaries are going to have the option to choose upon the death of the owner. Either they can take the account value as a lump sum, which is going to be a smaller amount because the multipliers are not tied to it, or you can get this benefit value and that will be paid out over 5 years to their beneficiaries. And in some states, there is capped, so I would definitely tell you to make sure you follow up with IMS and SILAC to verify which states have some capped benefit values, but in most states, it is uncapped.
Yeah, as producers I work with, I've seen a lot of success with this, with that client that's looking for a life insurance policy, but they're a little too old to qualify for something competitive. It's a guaranteed 50% to beneficiaries, plus what it earns credited at 300%. Excellent, excellent legacy play here. Best in the industry, in my opinion.
Yes, great points, Matt. Thank you for pointing that out. And I will say, if you're not familiar with one other feature on this particular product, it is called our accelerated income option. And what that means is that depending on if you do our non-bonus, whatever that benefit value is, you can have that paid out over 10 years, no questions asked. So if it grew to $1 million, obviously you would get $100,000 over a 10-year period. In the instance where you did our bonus, we would be paying that out over 15 years, that $1 million if benefit value. So it is a great wealth transfer play. And as Matt indicated, for clients that maybe might not qualify for life insurance or have some other situations that it doesn't allow them to basically leverage life insurance, this might be an alternative to leverage a fixed index annuity with this enhanced death benefit option and these multipliers. Now, the last thing I will say is on this contract, you do have to stay in it for a minimum on our 7-year contract, 7 years, or at least 10 years on our 10 and 14-year contract. So it is a long-term play, but again, it provides some great value and strong income if you've never seen it. This is just a quick slide to show you where we stand out on Annuity Rate Watch. If you've never looked at us before, we are now up there on Annuity Rate Watch, and again in the top 3 depending on what you're looking for. So with that and highlighting the products that we offer, I want to touch on what we can provide you as agents, not only on product, but how we can help enhance the service metric that what IMS is already providing. We also are very agent driven to where we want to make sure we're providing the best customer service in the industry. Part of that is we have a bonus program and it's called our Inner Circle. That Inner Circle is tied to agents and advisors hitting 2.5 million of premium with us. Once you hit that particular metric, you do get a welcome email notification from my service team, and there's a select group. I basically call this Inner Circle program kind of like a concierge service, to where it's tied to service and giving you that full SILAC experience in conjunction with what IMS provides. You get curated swag. I know we sent out some decanter bottles for people that qualified for Inner Circle last year. That is something, again, that we will be doing again this year, and it's a great program. The feedback we received, not only from agents but our IMO partners, is that it's top notch, second to none. Now, one reason why someone might say, okay, yes, you have a bonus program, but what else does it provide outside of giving you some swag? Well, here's the I think where the rubber meets the road. If you call in to our Inner Circle program and you are one of those Inner Circle members, you can see here the average hold time is 16 seconds. Now, part of that 16-second hold time is our introductory call, which takes between 10 to 12 seconds. So really, you're not waiting a long time for you or your assistants to basically get what you need from our platform and make sure we're taking care of you and your clients. And you can see here we handled over 5,000 calls, number of agents 168, but that is continuing to grow. And you can see this group did over 834 million in premium, and 129 of the 168 earned a bonus. So it is a great platform. If you're not familiar with it, please feel free to reach out to IMS and SILAC. We can definitely get you lined up as far as how this can help hopefully enhance your platform and the services you provide your clients. The Ember program is an additional tier to the Inner Circle program. Now, this is invite only, and the invite basically means that you have to hit 10 million of premium with SILAC. What it does allow is that marketer that you work with and that agent to be able to come in and have a one-time in-person meeting. We have quarterly calls. Really, I consider this like a think tank. Not only do you get the service that I talked about on the Inner Circle program, but what you're also able to get is basically get on the level with our president, our product development team, and start talking with other like-minded individuals as far as like very, I would say, strong and have done well in the business, and you want to be able to rub shoulders and network. This is what that Ember program provides. It's a brainstorming meeting, as we talked about, in an advisory board. So the perfect example of that is one from this Ember meeting that we had initially. We started talking about that's how the 5-year FIA got introduced, and then also talking about those Denali enhancements. That all came from this Ember meeting, and we just had one September of 2023. We actually had some agents and advisors from IMS that attended, and it was a great meeting. We got a lot of great feedback, and again, the main thing is service and making sure that we provide you with what you need to go out to market. Again, as I touched about on the service, now the hold time is 11 seconds versus 16 seconds. So again, it's concierge, top notch. There's a dedicated team that is tied to not only the Inner Circle, but the Ember group. You are well recognized by not only the Inner Circle team, but then also from the executive level, from our CEO, Steve Hilbert, down. Everyone knows who you are. You're getting some qualifying information, so then when you call in or send emails, that gets pushed to the top of the heap, and that's what we're really trying to drive. People that want to do business with us, we want to make sure that we're taking care of them. So these are the metrics of the Ember program. You can see here 20 agents qualified, over 1,200 calls handled, and 7 of them bonus. So the Inner Circle and Ember program have been great for us, and it's definitely helped move the needle as far as premium and production and getting value-added agents to our platform. These are some of the pieces on our Ember and Inner Circle program that are attached to our portal. We can definitely get this over to Matt and IMS if you want to see some more information on it, but this is what it looks like as far as if you ever jumped on our website to get details on the program. And then lastly, to kind of close this out and give you some overview, what we are, again, we're agent focused, but we also want to be education focused. So these are just some educational pieces that are collateral that are on our agent portal that are pre-recorded from additional Monday morning webinars we have. And it's all tied to not being carrier specific, it's carrier agnostic. It's more so what's driving particular products. So you can see here, what's an FIA engine and how's that built, okay? Increasing that engine. What can you do to basically make a competitive FIA in this market space? You know, what are some things that, you know, where does my money go when I purchase a fixed index and annuity? So if you are wanting to see more about that or learn about that, again, that's on our agent portal. It's collateral pieces and it's tied to education. It is not carrier specific. So we've gotten some great feedback over that. And we have one of those the last Monday of every month, and Carrie's getting ready to put another one together for February. So be on the lookout for those invitations. Other than that, I do want to say thank you for your time. I know we're coming close to a full hour here, but I wanted to basically give you an overview of what to expect, what we're doing, and then how we're doing it. And again, want to thank you and IMS for your time and your business. And just make sure, Matt, do you allow for Q&A or?
Yeah, we've got time for that. So if anybody has any questions, please enter them in. We did have one already, Andre, and I think I know the answer to it. But Rob was asking, or excuse me, Bob was asking about a flow annuity with SILAC, or a flexible premium annuity. And I don't think you currently offer one, and I don't know if your new 5-year product will offer that for producers. But what's your feedback? Have you guys looked at that at all?
Yes, so that is right now you are correct, Matt. We do not have we don't have a flow product on our portfolio right now, but that is definitely something that's come up, and that is in discussion with our product development and president Dan Anker to see what we can do to put something on there. I wouldn't anticipate that coming into play. Definitely not this year, and if it did come into play in 2025, that would probably be towards the end of 2025 if that happened. But it has been brought up, and it's definitely on the radar.
Okay. I don't see any other questions. I did want to make the point earlier. SILAC is really one of our favorite relationships here at IAMS. They're extremely transparent in how they do business. Like Carrie Freeberg, who Andre mentioned earlier, is always a resource to agents who want information on how the product's built, why caps and rates may have to change and they might go down then back up. But SILAC is extremely consistent. They keep their fixed rate right where it's supposed to be, and they publish that on, I think, 97% of contracts. Andre, it doesn't move more than 1/4 of a point. Is that right? Am I remembering that correctly?
So specific to our fixed rate, we've been in the FIA space for 6 years, and we haven't had to drop our fixed rate at all in that
Okay,
time.
so that's an awesome story. You don't see that from every group, and you guys have some really competitive fixed rates, even on that new income enhancement for Denali, which is another differentiator in the industry. So really good opportunities with you guys. Excited for our partnership in 2024 and beyond. And since we don't have any more questions, do you have any final comments, Andre?
No, just thank you again for the business. We look forward to the opportunity to meet you, and we will make sure to communicate when we start doing more of those road shows in California. So we'll basically have boots on the ground and be able to meet people in person.
All right. Good deal. Thank you, everybody. Again, sorry for the late start, but I will be in contact with anybody that would like more information. Take care.
All right, thank you.